Imagine carrying a heavy backpack you've worn for years. At first, you didn't notice the weight, but now your shoulders ache, your steps are slow, and you can barely breathe. That backpack is full of regrets you replay every night, fears of what might happen tomorrow, and voices telling you you're not enough. But what if I told you there's a way to take it off, to finally feel light, free, and alive again? In this journey, we'll uncover how to silence the critic in your head, break free from toxic ties, let go of the need to control everything, and even forgive the past that's been haunting you. This isn't just another self-help talk, it's the art of letting go. And once you learn it, nothing and no one will have the power to chain your happiness again. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might just change the way you live forever. There's a voice inside your head that you've heard for as long as you can remember. It's not kind, it's not supportive. It's the voice that whispers you're not good enough, that you'll fail before you even try, that everyone else is ahead of you. Sometimes it's soft, like a shadow following you around, and sometimes it's loud, shouting in your mind until you can't focus on anything else. It shows up when you look in the mirror, when you see someone doing better, when you think about chasing a dream. And the strange thing is, you start believing it. You start living as if that voice is the truth. But here's the thing, it's not your truth. That voice is an echo from moments in your life. Things people said when you were younger, mistakes you made, times you felt embarrassed or rejected. Your mind recorded them like a movie and now replays them over and over, hoping to protect you from pain. But in reality, it's trapping you in a cage you can't see. Imagine for a moment, if you woke up tomorrow and that voice was gone. No more criticism when you look in the mirror. No more fear when you think about trying something new. No more replaying every failure in your mind like a broken record. What would you do? Who would you be? Letting go of that inner critic doesn't happen overnight, but it begins the moment you realize it's not you. It's just noise. Every time it speaks, you have a choice. You can believe it, or you can treat it like a stranger on the street shouting nonsense. You don't have to stop walking just because someone yelled at you. You don't have to stop living because a voice in your head says you can't. The real power begins when you stop trying to silence the critic and start replacing it with a kinder, stronger voice. One that says, I can try. I am enough. I deserve better. Because once you change the voice in your head, you'll change the story of your life. And the story that's coming next will be one you're proud to live. Perfectionism sounds noble, always aiming for the best, never settling for less. But if you've lived with it, you know it's not noble at all. It's exhausting. It's like chasing a horizon that keeps moving farther away no matter how fast you run. You tell yourself, I'll start when it's perfect. I'll be happy when it's perfect. And so you wait, and life passes by while you polish the same thing over and over, terrified of making a single mistake. Perfectionism whispers that anything less than flawless is failure. But here's the truth. It's a trap. It convinces you to delay your dreams, to hide your work, to reject yourself before the world even gets the chance to see you. It's fear wearing a fancy suit, pretending it's ambition. And the cost? Missed opportunities, constant stress, and never feeling good enough, no matter what you achieve. Excellentism is different. Excellentism says, do your best with what you have today, and then let it go. It's about progress, not flawless outcomes. It's about taking action even when the conditions aren't perfect, because the truth is, they never will be. Life is messy, growth is messy, and that's where the beauty is. Think about it. The songs that move us aren't perfect. The art that inspires us isn't perfect. The people we love most aren't perfect. They're real, they're alive, and they're brave enough to show up as they are. When you embrace excellentism, you give yourself permission to start now, to learn as you go, to release the need to control every detail. The world doesn't need your perfection, it needs your presence. And the moment you let go of perfect, you'll realize you've been free to live all along. That's the shift from a life of endless waiting to a life that's finally in motion. Every day, we hold on to things like our lives depend on them. Plans that must go exactly our way, people who must treat us how we expect, goals that must happen on our timeline. And when they don't, frustration, disappointment, and anger rush in like a flood. It's as if we've built our happiness on a fragile tower, and every little shake makes it collapse. Non-attachment isn't about not caring. It's about caring deeply, but without chaining your happiness to the outcome. It's learning to say, I will give my best, but I won't let my peace be destroyed if things turn out differently. Imagine you're holding sand in your palm. Clench your fist too tightly, and it slips away faster. Keep your palm open, and it stays there, light and free. When you practice non-attachment daily, you stop living in constant fear of losing things because you understand that nothing is truly yours to keep forever. People, opportunities, situations, they're all passing through your life like chapters in a book. And that's okay. You can still love them, enjoy them, and give your heart to them without letting them define you. It starts small. When someone doesn't text back right away, don't spiral into stories. When plans get canceled, use that moment to rest or do something new. When a goal takes longer than you hoped, trust that the delay might be part of your growth. Non-attachment gives you the superpower of staying calm in a world that's always changing. Because once you learn to live without gripping everything so tightly, life stops feeling like a fight and starts feeling like a dance. And that's where real freedom begins. Every day, from the moment we wake up, the world starts pouring into our minds. News headlines screaming bad news, social media feeds showing everyone's highlight reels, endless opinions and arguments that drain us before the day even begins. Without realizing it, we're letting strangers, algorithms, and advertisers decide what our minds consume. And then we wonder why we feel anxious, restless, or never good enough. Mindful media isn't about shutting out the world. It's about becoming the gatekeeper of what gets to enter your mental space. Just like you wouldn't eat spoiled food, you shouldn't feed your mind with content that poisons your peace. Imagine your attention as a garden. If you constantly plant weeds, negativity, drama, comparison, that's all that will grow. But if you choose to plant seeds of learning, joy, and connection, your mind will become a place where you actually want to live. Start asking yourself, does this make me feel lighter or heavier? Am I learning something, feeling connected, or experiencing joy from this? If not, it might be time to unfollow, mute, or step away. Replace endless scrolling with content that inspires you, teaches you, or makes you laugh. Fill your mornings with something uplifting, not something that ruins your mood before breakfast. You can't control everything the world throws at you, but you can control what you invite in. And when you curate your media with care, your mind becomes calmer, your focus sharper, and your heart more open. Because the truth is, what you feed your mind will eventually shape your life. So choose wisely. Change has a way of showing up uninvited. Sometimes it's small, a shift in your routine, a new responsibility. Other times it's huge, losing a job, ending a relationship, moving to a place you never imagined. And let's be honest, most of us don't welcome it with open arms. Change disrupts our comfort, shakes our plans, and forces us into the unknown. It's human to resist it, to wish things could go back to how they were. But here's the hidden truth. Change isn't the enemy. It's the doorway. Every growth you've ever experienced, every strength you've ever built, was born from something changing. Without change, you'd still be standing in the same place you were years ago. The discomfort you feel during change is simply the stretch of becoming someone new. Turning change into growth starts with shifting your question from, why is this happening to me, to what could this be teaching me? Instead of clinging to the old, look for the skills, wisdom, and resilience the new situation is inviting you to develop. A closed door might be pushing you toward a better one. A painful ending might be creating space for a new beginning. It's not about pretending change is easy. It's about trusting that on the other side of discomfort is a stronger version of you. The version who can handle more, see more, and dream bigger because they've been through the fire and come out forged, not broken. When you stop running from change and start walking with it, you realize it was never here to destroy you. It was here to grow you. And the sooner you embrace it, the sooner life opens the next chapter meant just for you. Your mind is like a desk, and for most of us, that desk is buried under piles of papers, sticky notes, coffee cups, and random junk we haven't touched in years. Every unfinished task, every "I should remember this," every worry about tomorrow, it all stacks up until there's barely any space left to think clearly. You try to focus, but your brain keeps flipping through the mess, making you feel overwhelmed before you even start. Brain dumping is like grabbing a giant trash bag and clearing that desk. It's not fancy. You simply take a pen and paper or open a blank document and start writing down everything that's in your head. Tasks, worries, ideas, shopping lists, that random thing you've been meaning to fix. Everything. You don't organize it. You don't judge it. You just empty it out. The magic isn't in the writing. It's in the release. The moment your thoughts leave your head and land on paper, they stop taking up mental space. Your brain stops looping them because it knows they're safe somewhere else. Suddenly, you can see what's actually important, what can wait, and what doesn't matter at all. Doing this daily or weekly is like wiping your mental slate clean. It's the difference between trying to work on a cluttered desk versus a clear, organized one. One drains you, the other makes you feel ready. When you make brain dumping a habit, you're not just decluttering your thoughts. You're creating room for focus, creativity, and peace. Because sometimes the fastest way to free your mind is simply to get it out of your head. We all carry stories in our heads, stories about who we are, what we can do, and what we deserve. But here's the thing. Many of those stories weren't written by us. They came from offhand comments in childhood, failures we never forgot, comparisons we made when we felt small. Over time, those moments turned into a script we repeat without even noticing. I'm not good at this. People always leave me. I'll never succeed. And the more we tell these stories, the more we start living them. But a story is just that, a story. It's not carved into stone, and you have the power to rewrite it. Think of it like editing an old movie that's been on repeat in your mind. You can change the scenes, the tone, even the ending. Instead of "I always mess things up," it becomes "I've made mistakes, but I've learned and grown." Instead of "I'm not the kind of person who can do this," it becomes "I'm becoming the kind of person who can." Rewriting your narrative doesn't mean ignoring the truth. It means choosing the truth that empowers you instead of the one that imprisons you. It's looking at your life and asking, what's the version of this story that helps me move forward? Because when you change the story, you change the way you think. And when you change the way you think, you change the way you live. The next time that old script starts playing in your head, stop and ask yourself, if I were the author of my life, and I am, how would I write this part? That's when you stop being a character in someone else's story and become the author of your own. And that's where transformation begins. Sometimes our problems feel so personal, so tangled up with who we are, that it's hard to see where the issue ends and we begin. We say, I'm a failure, instead of I failed at this one thing. We say I'm broken, instead of I'm going through a hard season. The problem with that is, when you merge yourself with the problem, it feels permanent, like nothing can change because it's who you are. Externalizing is about pulling those problems out of your head and placing them on the table, where you can look at them from the outside. Imagine holding a snow globe. Inside is your challenge, swirling around, but you're on the outside observing it. You can turn it, study it, and see it for what it really is. Something separate from you, something you can work with. This shift changes everything. Instead of saying, I'm anxious, you say, I'm experiencing anxiety right now. Instead of, I'm a mess, you say, I'm feeling overwhelmed today. The difference is subtle, but it breaks the chain between your identity and your struggle. It's no longer you. It's just a situation, and situations can be solved. You can externalize by writing your problem down as if it's a character in a story, or talking about it like it's an object you're studying. Give it a name, describe it, and see it as something you can interact with instead of something you are. When you stop fusing your problems with your identity, you take away their power to define you. You can see solutions more clearly, make decisions without the weight of self-judgment, and remind yourself you are more than anything you're facing. Always. Some people fill your life with warmth, encouragement, and peace. Others drain it like a slow leak you don't notice until you're empty. Toxic relationships aren't always loud and obvious. They can be subtle, wrapped in charm or even love, but leave you feeling smaller every time you're around them. Maybe it's the friend who always turns your successes into a competition, the partner who makes you doubt your worth, or the family member whose approval you can never seem to earn. The hard part is, we often hold on because of history, guilt, or the hope they'll change. But here's the truth. Keeping someone in your life who consistently damages your peace is like drinking poison in small sips and expecting to stay healthy. Your energy, your self-esteem, your dreams, all get chipped away bit by bit. Detoxing toxic relationships doesn't always mean dramatic endings. Sometimes it's creating boundaries so firm they can't cross them. Sometimes it's limiting how much access they have to your life. And yes, sometimes it's walking away completely, even if it hurts. Because you cannot heal in the same environment that keeps breaking you. It's not selfish to protect yourself. It's necessary. You have the right to surround yourself with people who celebrate you, respect you, and want to see you grow. Imagine a life where every connection in it either supports your peace or inspires your growth. That's not a fantasy. It's the result of making the brave choice to step away from what's toxic and toward what's healthy. In the end, the relationships you choose are either a garden where you grow or a cage where you shrink. Choose the garden. Always. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a burning coal in your hand, hoping it will hurt the other person. But all it does is burn you. We replay the words, the betrayals, the moments we wish never happened, thinking that if we hold on tightly enough, we can somehow change the past or make them pay for what they did. The truth is, resentment doesn't punish them. It punishes you. Forgiveness isn't saying what happened was okay. It's not erasing the pain or pretending it didn't matter. Forgiveness is simply choosing to stop carrying the weight of it every single day. It's setting the coal down so you can finally heal the burns. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive is yourself, for the mistakes you made, the red flags you ignored, or the ways you let yourself down. But self-forgiveness is the doorway to freedom, because you can't move forward while you're still chained to regret. Letting go of resentment is a process. It may happen slowly, layer by layer, or all at once in a single moment of release. But each step you take toward forgiveness is a step toward peace. You start sleeping better, breathing easier, smiling without forcing it. You start living in the present instead of reliving the past. When you choose forgiveness, you're not letting them off the hook. You're letting yourself off the hook. You're deciding that your future matters more than your grudges. And when you finally let go, you realize you were never keeping the pain alive. The pain was keeping you from truly living. And now, you're free. Life will always hand us things we can't control. Pain from the past, voices in our head that tell us we're not enough, relationships that hurt more than they help, and changes we never asked for. But as we've seen today, freedom doesn't come from avoiding these things. It comes from learning to release them. Letting go of the inner critic, replacing perfectionism with excellentism, practicing non-attachment, guarding what we let into our minds, embracing change instead of fearing it, clearing our mental clutter, rewriting our old stories, seeing our problems as separate from who we are, walking away from toxic connections and forgiving ourselves and others. These are not just steps, they are acts of self-liberation. In my view, this isn't just a self-help method, it's a survival skill. The more we hold on, the heavier we get, and the less of life we can actually experience. But the moment we start letting go, even in small ways, we create space for peace, joy, and growth to enter. I believe that learning the art of letting go isn't about losing, it's about making room for everything we truly deserve. So as we close, I want you to remember, the weight you've been carrying isn't who you are. It's just what you've been holding on to. You can set it down, you can step forward lighter, and your future will thank you for it. If you found value in this journey, there's so much more waiting for you. Explore our other videos. They're filled with powerful lessons and inspiring stories to keep you moving toward your best self. Make sure to like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe so you never miss a moment of growth. Because this journey doesn't end here. It's just the beginning. And the next step is already waiting for you.